Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Locke. I'm the IBPA Director of Membership and Member Services. I'm also the host of this wonderful, amazing webinar we're doing today. So this is called the Get to Know Your Member Benefit webinar series. It's a really cool way for us to get a more in-depth look at all of the amazing benefits. I'm really excited. Today's webinar is going to be focusing on StreetLib, and I'm happy to welcome our wonderful other host, the head of U.S. Publishing for StreetLib, Julie Charlestad. Hello, Julie.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me today. I'm so excited to be here. I have been working with StreetLib for about almost 2 years now, which is so exciting. StreetLib, if you don't know it, is a digital distribution company. It's really like, think of it as a software as a service, like Salesforce or Google Docs. It's a place in the clouds where you can log on and upload your books, and then we take care of distributing them to over 50 different retailers all over the world. Self-service and ultimate control is the key. Just want to give you a tiny little bit of background about StreetLib, and that is that we were very early pioneers. We were started around 2007, and StreetLib was started by an entrepreneur who knew about these ebook reader devices and said, I'm going to bring them to Italy. And so he did, and he started selling ebook reader devices. And in about 3 months in, or just shortly after starting, he realizes there's no books in Italian for my Italian ebook readers. So they started StreetLib, which became the first e-distribution company in Italy and quickly became the largest e-distribution company in Italy. And at that time, it does and still does serve most of the independent academic and small publishers in Italy. It's been in the United States for a good long time, but really hasn't had a large presence just because of its European focus. Yet we have the same retailers worldwide. So it's now possible for Americans to use the system to upload your books, have them distributed to distributors in the United States, but also to a lot of these distributors in Europe, actually also in Asia and in Africa. So let me talk a little bit about what it is and how you can use it. So what StreetLib can do for you is, like, we're really working on, although we've been around for a long time, working on the cutting edge of what is happening. We are not a publisher. We are a platform for publishers. We maintain relationships with the retailers, our retailer partners, but the control is entirely in your hands. We have this extensive retailer network, more about that later. We also have a feature that allows you to sell your books directly to audience, currently just by coupon codes, but it's something that we're building out. And we sell to a lot of subscription services, which is what makes, I think, StreetLib most unique, is that we are able to put your book into Storytel and Everand and Kobo Plus and all of the subscription services just as easily as we can do individual ebook sales. And we can collect revenues from those as well. So the thing that I like the best about StreetLib, and I'll back up and show you even more about the platform, is our real-time analytics. And this is something that our developers did. You do not have to wait a month or 3 months after to find out where your books go. You will be able to log on at any time and see in real time the data even before it's been audited and put on the platform. And what we've done is we actually have web scrapers that go out to all of the platforms who are retailers and looking at our sales in real time. You see them both, you'll see them immediately as they happen, and then you'll see the point at which they turn over to audited actual sales when we put them together with a statement at the end of the month, but it's very accurate. So if you are running an e-promotion, you're going to be able to get immediate feedback as to whether that's working, where it's working, which stores are selling it, which format is selling it. So I want to go over some of the benefits of using the StreetLib platform. And I have to say, it's like an ideal platform. What we're finding with publishers is that it is a terrific digital distribution companion to your print publishing. So if you're doing print traditionally with a warehouse or even some minimal POD using Ingram, we can extend those services with non-exclusivity into the digital book markets, and especially ebooks and audiobooks. We do some print on demand, but our strength is really getting ebooks sold. So we are non-exclusive. You can use it alongside any other distribution channels you currently have. You simply can't distribute to the same outlet previously. So a lot of our customers will be working directly with Amazon, and then they will use us for everything else: Google Play, Kobo, Storytel, the Tolino network, all the things that you can't necessarily reach as easily. We provide the real-time updates. I think that's one of my favorite things about the platform, is that I can really see in real time how my books are selling. We also provide, if you're a publisher, we have two kinds of services on the platform. One, if you go in and sign up, it'll say, are you an author or are you a publisher? If you are a publisher, your account also includes royalty accounting. So we automatically can create statements for all of your individual authors, which I think for me is a game changer. I used to do digital rights at Writer's House with all the different digital platforms, and then just like compiling that and getting that ready for my authors was a nightmare, but we take care of that, and it's a really beautiful thing. We support all the different e-business models. We selling direct, subscription, lending models. There are other things like e-reader apps, like the Dreamy app, which basically sells erotica, but it is like we deliver our files into those apps just as easily as we would deliver them into a bookstore. We pay out every single month. So we get the payment, we turn it around in a couple of weeks. We are not holding on to your money, and it's not quarterly, it is every single month payouts. And then we also, particularly for our publisher clients, provide access to Kobo and Apple and sometimes Everand and other Overdrive, other platform promotions, because we can do some active catalog management for you. So if you have a book that is truly competitive and that deserves front of store placement, we can help you manage that on those particular platforms. And I can tell you, it's an especially big benefit in the United States because we have fewer authors. So if you have something really good, we can, really easily surface it for you. As we don't have a ton of publisher clients, we have a few. There's a lot of opportunity, and anyone who does join us is going to get the royal treatment. I can promise you that. And one thing as well is this platform is continuously innovating. It's not like some platforms where they invested in creating the software once and maybe they're fixing bugs. We are constantly evolving and innovating this platform. And I've seen some amazing things happen just in the 2 years. We are adding AI features that are generally going to help you market your books better, and as well as some cool new functionality that will help in marketing in the year to come. But we're led by a development team who both loves books, but is actively building this platform to be something that's even better. We also offer some professional book services, and this is something that is not widely known, but we do have a talented crew. So if you're bringing your print books to us, or you're bringing books that need to be converted to ebook, we have a team. Our services are very affordable, reasonable, and highly professional, and they are guaranteed to work on the platform if you want to come and do any of these services with us. One thing that we're keenly aware of, being a European company, are the accessibility standards in ebooks that have come down the pike. Those accessibility standards are going to be required for books this year and going forward. And so we can make sure that your books are compliant in that way. We also do, it's not on the slide, but one thing we do, and it's definitely in the benefits, is that we offer international localization. And you're saying, like, what is that? International localization? Like, I'm just going to publish my books in English to Germany, or I'm going to get it translated and publish it directly on the platform. We publish in 114 languages. But one interesting thing that I've learned is that books created for US market don't necessarily exactly translate. So if you take the example of German and US. You know, in Germany, they have a very different sensibility about the titles of a romance. So if you were to translate the English into German directly without a local ear, you wouldn't necessarily hit the mark. Germans have a rule, no bare chests with text over them. It's like a no-no. And so you can get your book, it can lose placement, it can lose favor without knowing some of those simple tricks. And we have teams in Italy and in Germany who can actually do that localization. That includes cover consultation, a full proofread, and for anything that stands out as awkward, as well as we have blogs and bloggers and promotions. If you are publishing in German or in Italian, and increasingly in Spanish, we can help you with the localization and really get your book in the hands of an international market. But that said, 25% of German reading happens in English. There's a huge opportunity to publish your English books in non-English markets. In Scandinavia, most of the reading happens in English. And worldwide, the younger generations are increasingly purchasing English books. It's particularly useful for books that are educational and nonfiction to go into, and for homeschooling and children's books. Like, these are the books that are most wanted in English worldwide.
Julie, real quick, some people
Yeah,
had questions about book formatting, so
yeah,
I'm gonna ask that
sure.
now.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
one question people were having is if they, let's say I know that you all have professional services that help people create the files, but what if they come to you with the files themselves? What types of files do you accept? Do you accept EPUB, PDF?
Yes, EPUB. EPUB for book, we do fixed width PDFs. So if it's an illustrated book or a children's book, we can do fixed width distribution. In that case, you would use a PDF. It works better if you convert it to a fixed width EPUB. We also included in our professional membership, which is $99 a year, but half of that for IBPA members, is a tool called StreetLib Write, which, if you have a Word document, will convert it into an accessible compliant EPUB. We also have a tool inside. Once you've uploaded your book, we have a little safety check, and you can have it check your file for compliance. And then if it's not compliant, you can pop over and fix it using our StreetLib Write tool. So all of this is available as a self-service.
Mm.
You don't need us to make it for you. You can do it.
Yeah, and so some people were wondering, so on your particular platform, let's say they have like whatever, like a Microsoft Word of their, document of their manuscript. On your platform, there is a way to then convert it themselves rather than hire your team to do it?
Yes, yes, we have a tool. It's called, as I say, it's StreetLib Write. It's
Yeah.
included with a pro membership. And you simply upload your Word document and it will convert it. And there's a lot of cool designs. So, and it also even creates the PDF for POD, like same file. And we have this, I would say, bring your own covers, but we do have an AI cover creator that does create bizarro covers.
Okay. Um,
But it formats it beautifully if you bring in your own cover art.
Okay, very cool. And
Mhm.
about the distribution, some people are wondering if they have to open accounts, for example, if the book's being distributed through your site to something like Apple Books, Amazon, they're wondering, do they have to create their own accounts on each of those various sites?
No, no, that's the benefit of using us, is that we have the contracts and we have publisher grade contracts with these different accounts. So we manage all of that for you. So we distribute it, we collect the money, we pay you the money. So you don't have to manage all of those accounts. But that said, you can log in and say just exactly how your books are doing on Apple, right?
Mhm.
So you don't, it's not like one big mush of all your ebooks go, you don't know where. So we do divide that up for you.
Awesome. Those are the questions for now, but I'm sure there'll be more later. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we were just talking about the distributors. We have over 50 retailers and channels, and I have to say, you can go to our website to get a full list of who those retailers are. We've just added bookshop.org, very exciting, and Libra FM. So we have those two really premium indie book distribution channels available in the United States. But we have Amazon, Apple Books, and with Amazon, what's interesting, if you are a publisher or an author, you have a choice of using either the KDP, the 70% model, or using the wholesale model, which is the 50%, but we don't take any, the same kind of agreements that you would get on your own, you can get through us. And our customers in the US are telling us that the wholesale and Amazon deals are a little better than they've seen with other distributors. So we'll just, that has to do with some of our legacy contracts. Actually, StreetLib was doing ebooks for Amazon in Italy before Amazon had Italy. We've been doing this a really long time, even though we're not such a well-known name in the United States. And finally, we have a really big library reach. We have Overdrive, we have Biblioteca, and we also have Hoopla. So, and then there's some other individual library applications that are specifically for, say, the Spanish-speaking or the Scandinavian markets. So we have a lot of coverage for libraries for digital programs. And one thing too is, like, right now, libraries are complaining that it's very expensive to get books. So you have the opportunity. I think indies should be very generous in offering good deals to libraries for their digital books, so that they can make it easy for libraries to make these books available to their patrons. So our benefits for you, I think I've alluded to this a little bit, are that we have our Pro plan. It's a $99 a year subscription. The royalty deal is that we take 15% of net, and I know that's different from others. Usually I think Draft to Digital and others take off the list price, but it's 15% net of the revenue that we take in. If you choose, we do have a free plan, but you get 70% instead of the 85% of royalties. But for that, we do the management of all the retailers and collect and do the accounting on your behalf. 50% off of concierge setup. This is something you'd need to give us a quote for, but if you're an IBPA member, we'll give you a generous discount. We have the ability, if you want to move an entire catalog, of uploading books in bulk and setting everything up all at once. And this is a big benefit if you maybe haven't distributed your ebooks, or you want to get them all in one place, or you just currently have them on Amazon only and you would like them uploaded and put in other retailers. 20% off the localization services I told you about. We have a whole variety of those services, from just a review and a consult all the way up to, we'll do everything for you. We'll get the package done, and we will also market it for you in those markets. And, and finally, you do get a complimentary StreetLib, right? There's a separate subscription for that if you weren't a pro member, but that is included in the deal. I think that's more than $49 a year anyway. And the tool is terrific. It does create very lean, efficient, compliant ebooks that you can upload. You can even use the tool and upload it anywhere else. So it's really easy to get started. All you have to do is go to StreetLib and create an account. But if you are an IPA member, you would choose the link that IBPA is providing you with and the coupon code to sign up for the half price for 2 years pro service. Uploading your books is completely self-service. If you've used the Amazon platform, ours is prettier, but it's the same idea. You upload the book, the title, you set your price, you can change your price, you can change your description, you can change your keywords and categories at any time, but upload all that information and control it yourself. And then you get to choose whether you want to be in all the retailers, or you want to be all but Amazon, or if you just want to select a few that you couldn't possibly reach on your own, such as the Hoopla platform, for instance, or the Overdrive platform, you can do that as well. And finally, you sell globally. We have an online community, and we have a lot of educational materials available to help you um, sell your books in markets that you may not be currently familiar with. So, Chris, that's it for the
Awesome.
presentation. Do you have more questions?
Of course, yeah. Okay,
Awesome.
so one of them is, and people have a lot of options. So, of course, and you don't have to trash your competitors, but I do think it's helpful for people to understand what are the differences. There's Ingram Spark, Drafted Digital, Publish Drive, BookBaby. So, just can you give us a general idea what the why someone would use StreetLib as compared to some of the other sites?
Sure. I mean, there's lots to say, but I think the
Yeah.
primary reason, and this is why we were really interested in joining the IBPA, is that our bread and butter and our legacy is small publishers and independent publishers. We do have a lot of indie authors on our platform as well, but we were built as a tool designed specifically for publishers. And I can tell you that's not true of Drafted Digital or Publish Drive. We have the built-in royalty statements, we have the batch uploads. We have a lot of features that, you just talk to us and we can make them active for you, and can a lot of flexibility for someone who is an indie publisher. We're different from, I think, the Publish Drive has actually moved to a different model that's like, I don't think they take a royalty anymore. They take a flat fee.
Yeah, they have a
Um,
subscription.
a subscription fee. And then Drafted Digital has, like, they take 10%, but it's 10% of the list price. So you need to be careful because that's a high amount taken off. Oh, hello. Sorry.
Apparently, we're
Um,
getting really
yeah,
close
I'm
to
getting really excited about this. I don't know. I have this new camera that back. Um, huh, that we do it off the net price, and our price is kind of a combination of the both. You buy down the lower royalty by spending $99 a year, and what we use that money for is us, the people who are going to help you get your system set up. So we are a software, but we have a really great customer service crew. There's two of us in the United States that are specifically working with authors and publishers and helping you get your material on. And then, so our fee is slightly lower than Drafted Digital, so we're kind of right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. I think if you are a publisher of multiple titles, we designed our pricing so that you would definitely get the best deal of
Yeah.
all the options. And with Ingram Spark, it's really hard to say what their percentage is because you just set the I would hello, back off. Um, with Ingram Spark, you set your terms and just let it go.
Mhm.
Ingram Spark, I think, is the platform that you would want to use for POD. I mean, they definitely have the best system for that. But I think we offer the royalty statements, the visibility into exactly where your books are going and where they're selling, as well as the individual relationships with the international booksellers, which I know Ingram's, everyone says they go international, but we are there. So
Mhm.
we have the relationships in the different markets.
Awesome. Thank you. So, something that you talked about just now and you mentioned earlier was the print on demand. So, I do want to
Mhm.
clarify. So, you do print on demand, or
Kind
what?
of. Right. In Europe, we do.
Okay.
Right. So if you are publishing in Italy, and for our European customers, we have a contract with Ingram Spark so that we can deliver their POD books via the Spark network. So if you're an Italian publisher and you're publishing in the United States, we do that.
Hmm.
In our opinion, we don't offer a better deal than you would get going direct to Ingram Spark. So we recommend that if you're doing POD, you do that. We
Mhm.
do offer KDP POD. So if you are distributing with us through Amazon, you can upload your PDF and it will go through the Amazon storefront in that
Okay.
way.
Okay.
We have a deal with our friend, I think he's also a benefit. RPI does,
Okay.
short run printing. And we've also talked to some of your other printers that, we can coordinate with that. We have a very, you know, in Europe, we have a print inventory system too that allows our publishers to connect to their print warehouses and inventory. We've talked to Vix about doing this. So if you wanted to come to us and say, hey, we want to like track our sales and our royalties in StreetLib with our print books, that's a capability we have. It's something that it would be a special request that you would need to
Okay.
get from us. But we play well with others because we have the software connections that will connect to a lot of different systems.
Okay. Yeah, and so we do have a member benefit with VIX.
Mhm.
RPI, their printer, they're members, and we do a lot with them. We don't have a member benefit with them, but just to clarify for everyone, so you do ebooks and then audiobooks. We didn't really talk about that.
Yes, that's relatively new. So our audiobooks, we deliver audiobooks to Kobo, Barnes and Noble, Libra FM. So it's a smaller set of the more indie Overdrive um, books, and we're sort of growing that out. We understand that honestly, the audiobook distribution deals are terrible. So we're
Mm.
looking for like the best opportunities for our indies to get their audiobooks out.
Okay. And if someone has a file, like what type of file do they get to you? Do you help them create files? How does that work?
I mean, that's something our services division can do if you need help, but it's the MP3 files.
Mm.
And so the way those are usually done for an audiobook, it's kind of technical. You have a file for each chapter.
Mhm.
So you would be like, if you had 20 chapters in a book, it is a matter of uploading those 20 files to the audiobook, plus the cover and the metadata.
Okay. And there's kind of in, the industry in terms of AI narrated titles, there are some places that don't accept them. So what's y'all's stance? Would you accept an AI narrated novel?
Definitely, because some of our retailers do and some don't. So what we would recommend is, and this is with any AI, is that you be straightforward and honest in your metadata and you tell us it's an AI narrated. I mean, people aren't. A lot of our retailers have absolutely no problem with it.
Mm.
So if you just click the box and say this is AI narrated, your books will be distributed only to the retailers that allow that.
Okay. Very cool. So yeah, we have some other questions. Someone was asking the $99 per title, or is it per
Not
author?
per title. No, it's per year.
Yeah, per year.
It's just
Okay.
it's an access fee. It's really covers us people who set up your account.
Okay. Um, and then they're wondering, is there a maximum number of titles that a publisher can upload in a year?
No, go for it.
Okay.
And if you need help with those bulk uploads too, I mean, I mean, just to be honest, there's certain things that a lot of people are uploading, a lot of that aren't working very well. And that's more the retailers than us. Well, and the consumers, and those are like public domain titles. We're getting so many of those. If you are doing public domain, we request that you have some really strong value add, like add art, add annotations, add, translate it in a language that it hasn't been before. Give it some value, but if you're doing just another copy of Jane Eyre, we already have like 500 of them.
Mm,
And the retailers are pushing back and they're saying, not enough of that. The other things that aren't working are summaries. And those
mm,
are borderline, like if you're doing a Spark Notes kind of thing. Um, you can do summaries of your own work and workbooks of your own work, but don't, that's getting into problems with retailers.
mm,
And also erotica is interesting. So again, designate it when
mhm.
you put it in the metadata. Barnes and Noble, for one, is no longer accepting any of that. So, but we have Dreamy and we have other platforms that love it and sell a lot of it. So the more you give us in detail when you upload and designate the categories and type of book it is, the more it will get directed to the right retailers.
Mm. Okay. And some people are wondering if they're already using another site, let's say like Ingram Spark for print on
Mhm.
demand, or even EPUBs or ebooks. Is there a way to somehow, if you all with through StreetLib, it's a better deal to do it, to distribute it? Like, how do they pick and choose where it goes out to?
Where it goes, I mean, it's I'm not sure if you can get a list of the retailers that Ingram is currently sending to, and I do not think they let you choose other than Amazon as an opt-in, opt-out. So what I would honestly recommend is just take your books off of your ebooks off of Ingram and upload them to StreetLib. There's a
Mm.
little gap, but you would need to, bring them down and put them back up. If you have a new book, say you're just publishing something new and you're putting the POD on Ingram, you can just start fresh with that one title
Mm.
on StreetLib and see how that goes. And if that is working for you, and you're getting a better return on your ebooks, then you could do the switch.
Okay.
Um, but there's some that they definitely aren't in, so you could open up a StreetLib account and go for Storytel, or like some of these Scandinavians or European. You can
Mm.
just click on a few of them that you're definitely not reaching. And all you would need to do is just check that store and make sure your book isn't showing up on it before you would upload it on StreetLab.
Very cool. And then on that note, the idea of uploading, someone's wondering, they have multiple titles through their imprint. Should they do like an individual option through your site, or is it better, you were saying you can do a group upload?
You can, well, it's, how tedious is it? That's the question. It's like if you have 20, you probably want them all up, but if it's like 4 or 5 or even 10, you may just want to upload them individually. That way you can set the metadata as you go, choose the categories as you go. It's not that time consuming, but it's just like if you have a whole catalog, that's when you would want to do the bulk upload.
Okay. And then someone had kind of a specific question. I know when it comes to picture books, it can be kind of difficult with the layout. So someone's saying if they have a Mac Pages generated fixed layout EPUB file, would that work for
I
y'all?
I think so. If it's the fixed layout EPUB file, again, this is one you could run, and you could even send it to our team and say, check this for us,
Mhm.
because it's a little unusual, but it should work. And they're like, as I said, like the Hoopla platform and some of the more educational platforms that serve out books of that ilk definitely would take a file like that.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
like the #1 distributor of comic book files in Europe, so
interesting.
those are
Very
all
cool.
fixed width. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, those in terms of images, yeah. I mean, I just know when people use e-readers, sometimes when something's image heavy, they can have difficulties. But that's awesome. Clearly it works through you all. So, well, those are the questions we have. I can tell you we're very grateful to have this as a member benefit. It's really important for people to have options and also to make sure that their books are going as many places as possible. So I love that y'all have all kinds of interesting places that some other places may not have access to. So thank you, and thanks for of course just the discount for our members. Very much
Yeah,
appreciated.
you're welcome. And I'm available. Any questions? I occasionally pop onto the Slack and I have the notifications. So if you want to ask questions to me about distribution on the IBPA Slack channel, I'm there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and thank you everyone for watching. And I hope you do take advantage of this fantastic benefit.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.